self-esteem. You are not who you think you are. You see, in one of my 5-day intensive workshops, I sat with a client. We're going to call him David. David is a successful businessman with a wife and 2 grown children. David believed that he was not good enough. As we worked through our program, I sat with David and he said, "I'm insufficient. I'm inadequate." I looked at this kind man and felt deep sadness for him. He did not know who he was. "Why do you believe that?" I asked. "I don't know. I didn't do well in school. And I've made lots of mistakes in my life." So I asked, "So you're basing your worth on your performance?" Of course. David could not conceive of any other way of defining his worth other than through his performance, which he never saw as good enough. I asked David to look inside at the essence of himself and tell me what he sees. All he saw was emptiness. "David, please close your eyes. Now imagine a wonderful being who loves you very much. Who comes to mind?" "My grandfather. He died when I was young, but he really loved me." "Good. Now imagine that you are seeing yourself through the eyes of your grandfather. What does your grandfather see when he looks at you?" "He sees a bright, creative little boy who is very kind and caring. A loving little boy. A little boy who is funny and likes to laugh and likes to make other people laugh. Is there anything wrong with that little boy? Anything inadequate or insufficient? Oh no, he's a wonderful little boy." "David, this is who you really are," I said. "You are not your performance. Your performance will come and go. At some point you might retire and not perform at all. Yet that does not mean you are therefore worthless. Your worth is in who you are, not in what you do. Your worth is intrinsic." David realized that because of his highly critical, rejecting parents, he had always been trying to prove himself and always came up short in their eyes. As a result of seeing himself as unworthy and inadequate, he did not treat himself well. He treated himself the way his parents had treated him, with criticism and neglect. He was always trying to take care of everyone else, but rarely thought about taking care of himself. He was constantly abandoning himself emotionally, just as he had been emotionally abandoned by his parents. "David, if you choose to see yourself as your grandfather saw you rather than how your parents saw you, how would you feel about yourself? Would you feel about yourself? How would you feel about yourself? And how would you treat you? Would you treat yourself different?" I've been thinking about that. I realized that I treat my dog better than I treat myself, he said. "I would never judge my dog the way that I judge myself." "So what would you do differently if you saw yourself the way your grandfather saw you?" I would stop judging myself as insufficient and inadequate. I'm a really good person. I'm not at all insufficient or inadequate as a person. And I choose my friends based on who they are as people, not their performance. So I obviously value the very qualities that I possess. What else would you do if you really valued who you are? I would listen to my own feelings and take care of my own needs instead of taking care of everyone else's feelings and needs. I would no longer see it as selfish to take care of myself instead of taking care of everyone else. I would be at least as attentive to myself as I am to my dog. David was glowing. He was discovering who he really was, not just who he thought he had been. You see, people often think that their worth, who they really are, is based on looks and performance, yet these qualities are transitory. What is really the eternal value of who you are? What is real and truly eternal is who you are in your heart and soul. If you shift your definition of your worth from outer to inner, you will stop trying to prove yourself. You will know that you are already a beautiful being, totally deserving of love. And when you understand your value and your worth, as you meet the world will begin to value who you are, the gifts you bring, and the world will begin to reflect what you saw on the inside. You will attract better opportunities. You will begin to experience better opportunities. You will create them without fail. This is why it matters that you see yourself away from your performance. Be willing to look on the inside. Those who are afraid to go inside and look will be lacking on the outside. It is imperative that you grab a hold of the concept that individuals around you will treat you as you treat yourself. And you have to recognize you are abundant. You are enough. You are the blessing that others have been looking for. You are the inspiration to empower others by the way you treat yourself. It is not selfish to love and care for you. And remember, others will treat you as you treat yourself. If you have no patience or time for you, others will have no patience and time for you also. Now begin to reflect what's on the inside and bring it out to the outside. And as you learn to celebrate you, the unique, marvelous, wonderful you, the you that is abundantly supplied with resources from your source, others will join in the party in helping to celebrate you. So what do you do today? Learn to celebrate you and remain in the presence of those who recognize the celebration of you. And you will never go lacking. You will never be inadequate. You will never be insufficient. For you are more than enough.